So what is net operating income in real estate? Often referred to as NOI, net operating income is a metric that gives you an overview of the operating profit of a commercial property or a investment property. The best way to describe it is think of a regular company. You may have heard of the term EBITDA. So it's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's a similar concept to real estate. Essentially, NOI is your gross revenue less your operating expenses. So your operating expenses are everything from common charges, if it's a condo unit, property taxes, insurance costs, any repair, maintenance costs, and whatnot. It's all included. It gives you a very hard to manipulate figure of profitability. Keep in mind that interest expenses, if you're getting a mortgage, is not included, nor are income taxes included in this figure. So this is why it's such a nice number, because you can compare this across different properties regardless of the property's financing structures, whether one property has a mortgage or not, and across different properties, based on the owner's individual tax situation. So it's agnostic to taxes and interest. So it's purely an operating income figure. And that's why it's so useful, because it gives you such a unbiased view that you can compare across different investment properties. So let's do an example. The easiest way to find out net operating income is to use Hauseit's cap rate calculator. And just as a recap, cap rate is essentially the net operating income over the purchase price or your cost basis. So the annual NOI over the cost basis, that is your cap rate. So let's do a hypothetical example of a investment property purchase, a condo in Miami. Let's say it's in the popular Biscayne Beach building or the One Paraiso in Edgewater, a very up-and-coming neighborhood we feel where the critical mass of Miami is moving. It's surrounded by Wynwood, the Design District, Midtown. It's so centrally located, just 10 minutes from the airport, 10 minutes from South Beach, downtown. So we feel that area has a lot of potential. But let's do a hypothetical condo purchase. Let's say you were smart and purchased in a building like Biscayne Beach or One Paraiso that's directly on the water, has direct ocean view, so it's a bit more defensible, has more of a defensible moat, as Warren Buffett would say. And let's say you purchased this 2-bed, 3-bath, high floor, direct bay view or ocean view, whatever, condo at let's say $940,000. And another thing to keep in mind is if you are very obsessed about ocean view, it's important to note that if you buy a property in, for example, Edgewater, directly on the water, and you are on, roughly floor 30 or high 20s and above, you can actually see the ocean, because Miami Beach is relatively low rise. So as long as you're, in the high 20s and above in floor, you can see above South Beach or Miami Beach. And Miami Beach just becomes a thin strip of sand in the horizon, and you can actually see over and the ocean. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, let's say the purchase price is this. Let's say it's turnkey, comes with furniture, can be rented right away, so there's no renovation cost. Of course, you can rent more if it is renovated these days. And then let's say we looked at recent comps, and let's do a base case analysis. There was another unit in the building, same floor plan, let's say a floor above, that rented for $5,600 for this. And let's say property taxes, you can verify this either on the listing, or better yet, go to the Miami-Dade government website. You search for property search Miami. You can find the site and verify the public property tax records for yourself. So let's do that quickly. So we've searched for property search Miami. You see the miami-dade.gov website. You can do a property search directly here by owner name or the address. Okay, you take a look and you'll see that there are property taxes here. This you can actually check just to see what they paid in previous years and whether they've actually paid their taxes, or whether they're behind on their taxes. So you see this is what they've paid in recent years. And then you can actually see the trim notice that comes out in the fall. The trim notice is a notice of proposed taxes in the future. You can see that they always have a proposed budget and what would happen if the budget is not adopted. So there's two numbers. You can see what was the previous year, and you can actually join any of these sort of taxing authority hearings to voice your opinion if you feel like the budget shouldn't be enacted. But anyway, let's assume the more conservative route and that the budget is adopted, so property taxes are a little bit higher than if it was rolled back, so 11,844.9. Right, you see that. And then next, for common charges, let's go to the listing and see what the listing agent advertises for common charges. Let's say the common charges are $13,440 per year, or roughly $1120 per month. And we found that by either asking the listing agent, seeing it in the listing online, verifying it with the management company, which is actually the preferred route during the inspection period, as it's your responsibility to verify the actual HOA charges, any special assessments and such during the inspection period. Let's say we are able to pay, say, $1,000 for property insurance. Maintenance and repairs, let's say that this came in excellent shape. There's no work needed to be done. You're buying in Miami, which is an extremely hot market at the moment with essentially zero vacancy. You're going to manage it yourself. There's no property management fees. And of course, in a lot of buildings, sometimes different types of utilities are already included, where otherwise the tenant is responsible. So typically you as a landlord are not responsible for any utility bills in a condo. Same thing here, renovation costs are zero. It's in great condition. Now for closing costs, so let's take a look. So you see for closing costs here in Miami, it's roughly $6,510. Keep in mind that you already included home insurance premium in your figures, so you might as well reduce this. So let's say it's roughly $6,000. So in this case, you are looking at an annual net operating income of roughly $41,000. Your monthly net is $3,400, and divided by your cost basis, you're looking at a 4.33% cap rate. And then of course, the great thing with our calculator is you can do some sensitivity analysis. For example, if you feel like this particular property was not marketed correctly, and you can actually get the rent higher, maybe by doing some light touch-up work or putting in some new furniture or whatever you decide to do, and you think the market rate will be or can be $6,000 because there's absolutely no inventory in Miami, then you can see what the cap rate becomes and what the net operating income becomes. Let's say in a really great market, it's $7,000, or you really forecast that Miami will go gangbusters and it's going to be $8,000, then you're getting closer to 8%. So there you have it. This is what net operating income means in real estate, what cap rate means, and also, if you do want to see what your numbers are by buying with a mortgage, you can also check out our rental property calculator, where again you can see your cap rate, but also your leveraged return. So your cash flow after paying for your mortgage principal interest and your levered, your cash on cash return as well. So this is the subject of another video. Feel free to check out this excellent calculator as well to see what your returns will be with financing. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like or subscribe. Leave us a comment if you have any questions, and we hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.